FloTrack here with Coros at the running event in Austin, Texas. I'm here with Ryan Poland, the U.S. Running Marketing Manager. Hi, how are you feeling here in Austin?
We're feeling great. It's early, but we're ready for a good show.
Well, I know here, with Coros, you guys have some new exciting products to talk about, a new watch, and I know we can talk a little bit about some of your other athlete programs with some high schoolers, and then as well as some of the pro athletes you partner with. But perhaps maybe we should start first off with the breaking news. Maybe you guys have a new watch.
Yeah. So we released the Pace Pro at the end of October. So it's a upgrade of the Pace series, which is like the watch that Jakob and most of our road running athletes wear, Elliot and all those. So the Pace has been an MIP screen in the past, but the Pace Pro is an AMOLED, which you can tell by how beautiful it is. And it's still got the Coros battery life, those sort of things that are we've been known for. So none of that really goes away. It's just sort of an upgrade to the Pace, the original version.
And so I know you guys released this at the end of October. What have you been hearing at all, like the reaction from some of your customers and also the athletes you partner with? Like, how much do they like this new watch?
Yeah, it's been very popular. I think especially this time of year when athletes are sort of like, that training in the dark gets real. Being able to have something a little bit brighter is very nice, and I think the biggest thing is really just it's a lot faster. So we like fast runners, and we also like fast watches. So the feedback has been very positive from the athlete side as well.
And how does the Pace Pro fit in with kind of your full lineup of watches that you have?
Yeah, so we really see our line as like we create watches for athletes and for particular activities. So the Pace series is sort of your road running, marathon, anything from the track. And then the Apex series sort of runs into more of your trail type of athletes. The watch is a little bit more rugged. And then the Verdict series is really more of like climbing, outdoor adventure. So we're really building the products to satisfy some sort of need that an athlete might have. And so that's really been the goal and will continue to be.
So I know, personally, I have the Pace 3, and I love the Pace 3. What's kind of the differences between maybe, say, you have a Pace 3 versus, maybe I want to go get that Pace Pro?
Yeah, so the Pace 3 is still a great watch, and it's not going anywhere. So I think the two types of things that I think the Pro is really going to be an upgrade is one, the maps. So you can actually have turn-by-turn navigation, and the zoom is really very powerful on that, and that processing speed is the reason why that exists. And then obviously the AMOLED screen is going to be a big thing, a big upgrade. So yeah.
And then I'm also curious too. I've tried you have the heart rate strap that goes on your arm. I know some brands may have the one that goes on your chest, but this one you guys have the armband. Yeah. I'm assuming that's something you can still use with the Pace Pro as well.
Not only can you use it with Pace Pro, but you can actually use it with anything that accepts heart rate data. So any watch that accepts heart rate data, you can use that armband heart rate, which you noted, but we've got one back there. But it's a significantly more comfortable experience. I trained with the chest heart rate for a long time, and this is like the universal I'm uncomfortable sign. So there's no more of that. You don't have to live in that world anymore.
And I'm assuming you've gotten kind of similar feedback from other people you've talked to that have tried it as well.
The heart rate monitor is kind of like our golden goose of sorts. Everybody really loves it. I mean, if you're training with heart rate and you are sick of wearing a chest heart rate monitor, that you don't have to. So I think it's one of our better products for sure.
Now I know you mentioned when you introduced the Pace Pro, you talked about some of the the big name athletes that use this watch. You talked about Jakob Ingebrigtsen, Eliud Kipchoge. I mean, those are two of the biggest names in distance running, and they work with you guys. How cool is it to work with some of these pro athletes like that, and you guys have a plenty bigger lineup than that as well?
Yeah, it's definitely, it's a cool part of being in the industry, and in particular with the brand, where it's also, I think, a testament to the product, that the product is good and that people want to use the data. And I think sometimes it's sort of inaccessible, or it feels inaccessible, especially for a runner who's either beginning or maybe has a coach who they've just trusted with that. and sort of taking that a little bit of that control back in terms of knowing what is actually happening. And I think the athletes really appreciate that, and it's obviously very fun as a brand to be able to partner with the best athletes who are doing really cool things and being able to sort of watch our watches run around the track.
And then not only are you partnering with the best and the best of the pro level, but you guys also have a really cool NextGen athlete program at the high school level. Can you talk a little bit about that for perhaps people that don't know what that is?
Yeah. So it's been a very cool initiative that we started in, I guess, January of last year, essentially. So we've partnered with pretty much the top 45-ish athletes, and basically trying to provide them with an experience outside of like just giving them a watch, right? Like that's obvious, we can do that, and we can definitely get them the technology and sort of try to teach them how to use that effectively, but then also providing some of that mentorship and the things that, again, we have access to Kipchoge and, these athletes that they may get to talk to at a Nike national meet or something like that, where a brand will bring people in, but we've really been trying to make that a staple of the program in terms of getting these people getting young athletes in front of some of the best runners in the world to know that they're really not that different. And I think that's a powerful message to sort of deliver early on and hopefully create better runners in the future.
I mean, I know I wish, if I had been one of the top athletes in the country in high school, I know I would have liked to have had that program available to me, so it's a pretty cool program.
Yeah, it's been, I think, coming from my experience, like I ran in college, ran in high school, and I think I've made a lot of mistakes in my running career. And so it really was like, how would I fix this? If I could go back and tell myself a lot of things, like what would I want to hear? And I think it's been cool to sort of see how the athletes respond to that and how much fun they're having with it. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for breaking down the new Pace Pro and talking about your other line of products and everything else that Coros is doing in the running space right now. Appreciate your time, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.